I am starting this journey because I think that there's a lot that I can share with other business leaders, other managers, key stakeholders in company out there. And so I've just put together a list of objectives I want to cover in this first video. So welcome. My name is Joe Shulfer. I am the founder of SolveOnyx. This is a company that I am starting that will help businesses, business leaders, maybe those that know what they want to do with their company, but maybe not sure how to go about it. And we're going to talk a little bit about what that means. My background, I've been working in the manufacturing, engineering sorts of fields for about 25 years. I've been in my current role now for over 15. I'm leading a mid-sized manufacturing company as the president. I've got a background in engineering. My degree is in mechanical engineering. I spent 4 years in the nuclear power program of the U.S. Navy. I earned my MBA. I'm a licensed professional engineer in multiple states. And that's just a little bit about myself. I'm not really a developer per se, as far as like coding and software and things like that are concerned. I've taken programming classes when I was in college. I learned Fortran with all the other engineers. I've written code in C, C++, that sort of thing. But it's not something I do day in, day out. I think with the development of no code or low code platforms in recent years, that's really enabled a lot of more senior people and organizations to develop tools that they would otherwise not be able to do themselves. So I'm going to make it my objective to share with my viewers, everybody else that stumbles across these videos, about how I've taken the desire I've had to solve problems and to find better ways of doing things, and to turn that into real world tools that you can easily build and maintain for long periods of time, 10, 20, 30 years into the future, to help you do things more efficiently in your business. So that's a little bit about me, this company, this journey that I'm starting. And when we talk about who this is for, we're talking about business owners, managers, and just people that work in these sorts of companies that want to solve problems, that want to figure out better ways of doing things. So, a lot of times I'm asked, like, why did you want to do this? Or, what made me want to start this business? And I would say it was, the ideas stem back to even when I was in the Navy. Although, we had virtually unlimited resources, there were still ways that I've always been on the lookout to try to solve problems and just to make things more efficient. Because I'm just a firm believer in, if you can figure out ways to do things better and to do it in less time, that means you and your people can spend more hours of the day, of the week, of the year focusing on other things that can make money for your business or get more sales or develop new products. So, people ask me, what was that aha moment? When did you realize that there were things that you could do to really change how a business works? And I would say it was like 15 years ago when I started at my current company, and we had this really antiquated way of keeping track of all of the orders we got. And there was no central location for this sort of information. There were, Microsoft Word documents and Excel files and things like that. And I had this vision for this system that was central to both internal employees, but also all of our customers and our dealers, and how we could centralize that information, make it update in real time, share that information with our customers. And then one thing led to another. And then, we started looking at some of the other things like quality and warranty claims, technical support, ordering replacement parts, and the list goes on. and how we built these tools, because a lot of times you can go out and you can find software that maybe touches on the keyword or phrase that you're looking for the software to do, but you realize that it's going to do about 50 other things that you really don't need, you don't want, you don't even know how you would integrate that into your process. And I've always been against a situation where you're making heavily customized software for your business, because as soon as that person that develops it is no longer there, they retire, they quit, whatever, now you're dead in the water if you ever need to make any changes or just the normal upkeep and maintenance of software. So when companies like Microsoft and Bubble and, the list goes on of companies out there that have developed low code or no code sort of development platforms, I think they hit the nail on the head, because they're able to now target people that maybe aren't developers, but they're leaders of companies or managers that know what they need to do to get the business to work well with some of these software tools, but they don't know how to write the software from scratch. Now there's tools out there that you can develop some of this stuff yourself and get up and running in weeks, not years. And over the course of these videos that I'm making, and I hope you get a chance to check everything out that I'm going to be publishing in the days, months, weeks ahead, I'm going to show just how simple it is to go from idea to a functioning app in just such a short amount of time, and how you can make a tremendous difference. So, what am I trying to accomplish here? I'm in my mid to late 40s. I've accomplished a tremendous amount of success in my life. And, I think it would be a shame to not share some of those successes with others that could potentially learn from this sort of stuff. I like to be able to show people the capabilities that they might not even realize they have. And I'm going to show it with, these aren't just going to be like tutorials, how to do this, how to do that. This is going to be how to think like a business leader, how to think like an executive manager, and then how to execute it. Because while people would describe me as a type of leader that leads by example, I inspire and motivate my people over the years to, not only think outside the box and find creative ways of solving problems, but challenging yourself to learn new skills that are going to take you and your areas of responsibility to greater heights, both in your career, in your roles, in your current companies. So this video today that I'm filming is about just giving you a background about me, about what I'm trying to accomplish, and just to give you a little preview of what you can expect in the future. I've come across some amazing tools that aren't going to require a lot of work to integrate into your workflows. I'm going to be showing you some amazing tools you can build for your internal customers, your employees, your outside customers, maybe your vendors. I'm going to show you how to build some pretty cool stuff using some low code and no code platforms. We're going to talk about Microsoft Power Apps, for instance, which is a great tool, but it has its limitation on it's really only meant for your internal employees. And I learned this, I don't know if I'd say I learned it the hard way, but I quickly realized that was a limitation. You can build some things to streamline, whether it's, expense tracking. If you're a smaller company, maybe don't have a centralized payroll system that has a expense reimbursement module built into it, or maybe you're doing some very basic inventory management or IT support ticketing. Internal tools like that are great in an application like Power Apps, where you already have a Microsoft tenant in place. Everybody has an email address at your, domain.com. But a lot of times taking that to the next level and sharing information with your employees is where it really goes from that's nice to now your customers are starting to benefit from it. And I've worked in my career with one of my goals has always been to make it as easy as possible for your customers to do business with you. And the way I've done that is by giving them access to information that would otherwise be difficult for them to get a hold of. And in my particular case, I'm talking about repeat customers like dealers, for instance, or manufacturers reps that keep doing business with us over and over again. And so what ends up happening is they go through the same sorts of things year after year. There's always going to be new orders that are placed, pricing out new equipment. How do they go about doing that? So we've built tools that allow them to do that all through their dealer portal. And that's where like some of the Microsoft Power App stuff comes up short. But then we're going to talk about bubble.io. Check it out. You're going to learn a lot about it from me on this channel. You're going to learn how to build low code or no code apps so that you can take ideas and turn them into functioning apps in no time. And it's going to really open your eyes to not worry about, well, how am I going to figure this out? Or who do I have to hire? How many hundreds of thousands of dollars am I going to have to invest in this business to get a developer to take my idea and turn it into reality? You're not going to have to worry about that anymore, because if you have the idea and you're willing to roll up your sleeves, I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to execute it. Whether that's me inspiring you and showing you how to use the tools, or you want to reach out to me and say, hey, I got this project. Help me out. And then, we talk about how to do that. So we're gonna go on this journey, see where it goes, and hopefully we can inspire and motivate some people out there. So until next time, we'll see everybody later. Thank you.